Hello, welcome back to Reading Mama. My name is Heather. Today I thought I would share a quick book haul. These are all things that I'm using for school. At least I think so. Let's find out. All right. First up is The Singing Tree by Kate Ceretti. Apparently it's a sequel. Didn't know that. I have not pre-read this, but I do. My oldest has read it and I have my 5th grader reading it. We were getting it from the library and it had this beautiful like tree color. I mean, it was just beautiful, bohemian kind of cover. This is the prettiest cover I can find. So we'll be on search for that. But covers are not everything. So what is this story about? This is taking place during World War I in Hungary. And you follow John C. and some cousins, I believe. And they're trying to take care of the farm and all the things that are going on as the Germans, the Russians, all the refugees, all of this is happening around them. And so, yeah. So that's all I know. My daughters both love it. I will say my 5th grader was disappointed in this cover after seeing the beautiful library cover. Next up is some books for my high schooler for nature study. So she's going to be reading The Lost Art of Reading Nature Science. Let's not lie, I'm also going to be reading this because it has been on my TBR for a while. And when I saw it as one of the suggestions to read along with her nature studies, I was like, that's the one. So she'll be using that, and also this flower finder by May Thielgard Watts. Let's open it up and look inside. So it has like, if the flowers are this, then this, and you kind of can go through it. We have one of these for identifying winter twigs, and it's really helpful in the winter because, you know, like, what tree is it? It has no leaves. How do we do? So I think this will be useful. This one by, I think it's Tristan Gooley. By the way, the covers of his books for the British version, the UK version, are so much more beautiful, but this isn't bad. And basically in this one, we're going to go through just what it says. Using outdoor clues to find your way, predict the weather, locate water, track animals, and other forgotten skills. So, I mean, it's a good little nonfiction. My high schooler is also going to be reading this, The Great Depression. It says it's captivating history. I hope it is. It's just, I needed a nonfiction that was going to go through some of the Great Depression things. It wasn't going to take up a lot of time. It's only about 100 pages. So I'm also hoping to read it for shorty September. But yeah, I think this will be a good overview from the snippets that I read online. This is for my high schooler, but it is really a middle grade historical fiction. I've talked about this summer. I really loved it. I listened to it on an audiobook, had to buy it. Really good. So Lost Year follows 3 points of view. 2 are in the 1930s, from a girl in America and a girl in what is Ukrainian Soviet Union, the Ukrainian portion of Soviet Union, and then a boy in 2020. And you follow along with their lives and how they intersect and all the different things that kind of cross the cultures and cross all the different things that are going on. So this is for my oldest, like I said, but just to get her into some of those things that are not necessarily talked about, like the Holodomor, the famine that they went through there and all those different things, and also talk about Soviet regime and what life was like, and then how that compares to pandemic living. So yeah, it'll be good. And then I got this one. This is Lauren Moak, Echo Mountain. And it's funny because I've actually read her other 2 books. So Bright Sea, awesome. Well, I'm not going to talk about those because that's not what this video is. But Bright Sea is good. Wolf Hall is really good. I haven't read this one, so I went ahead and bought it. It takes place in the Great Depression time, which is what we're studying in our next little section of school. So I got this for my kids. I don't even know if I'm going to assign it. I might just put it on the shelf as a free read, but I have not been disappointed by Lauren Moak yet, so I don't expect to be. So hopefully I will get to read this too. Also, some more. We're diving into the 1930s and 40s in our next segment of our history studies in school. So that's kind of what you got going on here. So I have Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. I recently read this. Amazing. I don't know why I didn't read it before. It's just really, really good. And so this is going on one of my kids' reading lists. I don't remember. I don't have those things like internalized. I got a lot of kids. There's a lot going on. But Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry is great. Depression era. You follow this African-American family in the South, and you deal with the things that are going on around them. Trying to make sure, because I have another one that's kind of same time period, same location, so don't want to mix them up. But in Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, okay, so you have their mom's a teacher, their dad has to go work somewhere else, and in order to earn enough money to keep their property that they own, and you deal with a lot of the property ownership, racial relations, public schooling relations of that sort with the segregation and everything. And then just a lot of different like nuances of racism during the 30s, about a lot of those different topics. Really great. It is a little bit thicker than you would imagine, but I highly recommend. I think it's a Newbery Award winner. It's great, very fast paced, but a lot of heavy topics, really good discussion. And then, like I said, I also got this one, which I also read this summer, which is Stella by Starlight. And it takes place in South 30s, different kind of family. Here you kind of have, you know, they're struggling to make ends meet, but they have a lot more, they're more modern, even though they live on a farm, I guess. They're in the school, they have a certain way that they have to dress. They are getting a lot of nuances that are a little bit maybe middle class, whereas we're definitely dealing with some lower class things here. And Stella by Starlight, you're in Bumblebee, North Carolina, and you are definitely, as you can tell by the picture, you are dealing with some Ku Klux Klan things. Get a little bit with this, they call them Night Riders, but you have specifically Klan things. You have voting and segregation and all those nuances in this one. Both are really good. So anyways, Stella by Starlight and Will Thunder Hear My Cry, very similar topics but different. Like they're the same time period, kind of a similar location, but very different. This one you have a lot more of the character of Stella, of her viewpoint of how things are happening, and you get a lot more, I feel like it's more personal, whereas here you're following Cassie and her family, and it's a little less personal, but they're both same time period, same section, but vastly different stories covering the multitude of things to talk about with racism in the 30s. So I highly recommend both if you can do it. And then I have Grenade. I have to limit myself, guys. World War II is a fun reading time. It's not a great topic, but there's a lot of good books about it. So I have to limit myself on what I can buy because I have a lot already. That said, oh, I did have one more. Where did it go? Here it is. I have two World War II era. And so I limit myself, but it's okay. There's still so many good books, and we use our library, guys. We use our library. That's what I'm trying to tell myself. I'm trying to convince myself I don't need to own all the great books. Right? So first up is I Am David by Anne Holm, which is a great book, and I love this so much that I had to go buy it. I'm hoping to watch the movie. I know that there's a movie out, but David has grown up in a prison camp. You don't know where, you don't know what, you don't know who, and you kind of have a gist, but you don't know. There's no specifics. There's not a specific time. There's not a specific location he's coming from. You can kind of make some wild guesses about it. But he is helped and escapes the prison camp and is trying to make his way to freedom, basically. But not any just any old freedom. He discovers what freedom means. Freedom of his mind, freedom of physicality, freedom of his soul. Just really all those things along the way. And he's experiencing the world for the first time, and it's very different perspective than a lot of other books. I really enjoyed it. I really appreciated the way that Anne Holm does this, and yeah, it was kind of a surprising ending. It was one of those books that you're like, oh, I want to stay with that character a little bit longer, because I was really just, I don't know, the character is so well developed that you want to be with him a little longer. So that was a great one. Then I have Grenade, which let's just go a totally opposite direction here. Grenade by Alan Gratz. And honestly, I could buy all of the Alan Gratz books, I think. Not all of them. There was one I didn't like. But I'm trying not to, because I can use the library, right? No, I don't need to buy them all. That said, this is the Alan Gratz World War II book that I decided to buy, at least for now. I might get another. But Grenade, I got because it goes from a totally different perspective than all the other World War II books, for the most part, that I have. Because it's set in the Pacific Theater, and you follow a young man on Okinawa, and just, this book led me to deep dive into more research about Okinawa and the Pacific Theater and things that were happening. And so like now anytime we watch a movie that's in that location, I like bring it up with my husband. I'm like, I remember this, they did this. And yeah, it was that good. It was just something that you want to know more, because you're following a young boy who's growing up in Okinawa, and they've already been traumatized by the Japanese who have conquered the Okinawans, because they they aren't Japanese, they're Okinawans. They've destroyed their samurai culture, and now they're being force fed into this Japanese culture, and now they're being attacked by the Allied forces. And so really, really good. I liked the perspective was different. You follow Hideki, I don't know how to say it, but you follow him in Japan, like I said, but then you also follow Ray, who is a young American Marine who is going there in his squad. So you get both perspectives. I love the uniqueness of it. I've read a couple of his other ones. What did I read? Ground Zero is 9/11 book, great. Refugee, we are actually going to buy that one because we will be using that later this year, even though it does have a World War II point of view. And then what else did I read? Oh, Project 1065, really phenomenal. Code of Honor was really good, but it's the one that I'm like, I don't know that I want my kids to read that one. I don't know. It had some hard topics. I don't know that I'm knowledgeable enough to talk about those. Let me just show you. Here you go. All those. I recommend all of them. Or all of them. But yes, so I really am enjoying this. So I'm excited to add that to our homeschool year. So let's see. What do we got here? I don't know. It's a lot of books. Please don't tell my husband. No, I'm just kidding. He knows. He gets the receipt. But yeah, this is what my haul is. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, drop a book emoji so that I know you've been watching. It helps the algorithm, all that jazz, you know. Thank you again. Have a blessed day.